Adeshiman ba mi chechi obi biara edeba enede dwumadi so ewo ayiho TV. Ma chance dey na ma kasa mo de share very good. Ensem foforo edi akotene ewo ye man Ghana ena ebi akamensa enede ya mesade bi ebedomo. Na ya nkasa ye nitia ye man Ghana se say dey eko amammo so far NDC for ebetena so dey omode eye Ghana for na ene de ya me no kasa de Ghana for bi ena abamonte so edi some reaction bi ebre His Excellency John Dramani Mahama ene NDC amayiko na mesa also be stay team we like it na wa share me videos ni edi amam na chese yabo apinchi nsem na yakotie mu ensem se de esitie ni bi aba.
We will not accept it. So when it comes to this issue, we will throw away ethics and go for the emotional argument.
So, my brother, I think you said we should share our opinion, my disagreement, dissatisfaction, and sadness about the happenings in Ghana. Any group of people who don't learn from their mistakes, probably they say they must be foolish. So we were here in Ghana where a whole president who will run errands and bring returns, massive returns to the state, was criticized, lampooned, insulted for using private jet for official duties. They even compromised the security of the president by giving extreme or extra details, which all reasonable people and democracies will never dare do, because we must protect our leadership. Not only that, because of propaganda and extreme unethical behavior of these charlatans, they prepared the minds of Ghanaians that once they are vulnerable people within our communities and people don't have water to drink, there's widespread poverty, especially in the NDC areas where they get their votes. And so Akufo-Addo was insensitive, a criminal, a wicked president who did not care about the plight of his people because he rode on private jet for official duty. Sometimes, I remember in one instance, he had to travel to Norway and France at the same time, and he could not have used a commercial flight, so he needed to be there. And the criticism was that he was insensitive for abusing the people by using their resources. These things, it is because of some of these things that Ghanaians were so peeved. Some even spoke against free SHS. The very benefit that this man brought to them, people criticized him because they positioned him as somebody who was extravagant in his spending because he used 14,000 or 15,000 for a private jet. Today, somebody who is not even the president. And my worry is that you people, championed by Okudzeto, told us that there's no justification for any official to travel to abroad for medical checkup or to seek medical attention.
But Uncle Marcus, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I want to ask you, genuinely, from where you are, from where you have had the privilege to travel outside the country and see one or two things. Ideally, not being excessively partisan. Yeah. Whatever they were saying as a then, that Akufo-Addo was using the private jet and all those things, was he a good call then?
You see, it wasn't a good call. But you see, in modern day life, populism has become a danger to democracy because we have a significant number of the people who are refusing to put on their thinking caps. And unfortunately, in our instance, they are the majority in the NDC because they have refused to think. Therefore, these politicians have hijacked their emotions and they're always playing with it. That's why if you make the argument that sometimes because of certain conditions, you cannot even seek medical attention back home and you need to travel, they will not
position themselves in that angle. They will go for the emotional argument and blackmail the vulnerable people that it is because of extreme extravagance that they are suffering because of this same leadership. So it is an abomination for people who champion that to now come back and do the same thing. In fact, at worst, it is foolishness, because not only did they say with their mouth, they sat down and compiled a code of ethics that will guide their behavior in public office. What has changed now? It must be extreme stupidity for them to do it in our faces and think that we will not complain. That is where the problem is coming from. These people did not only tell Ghanaians that it was unethical, it was an abomination for public office holders to travel outside irrespective of their conditions, because we have best medical facilities back home. This is what they told us. What has changed now? Now, if you criticize somebody who used private jet, and he was no less a person than the president of the republic, for using $15,000 and later on compromise his security, what justification, moral justification will you give by going to take how much now? $18,000, amounting to $180,000, $1.8 billion a day at the cost of the vulnerable people of Ghana. How can we justify this? Or is it because they are NDC? We will not accept it. So when it comes to this issue, we will throw away ethics and go for the emotional argument. Today, as we speak to you, their own supporters are crying because of hunger. There are more vulnerable people in Ghana. People can't have water to drink. Go to Volta region, where majority of their votes come from. Are they living in better conditions now?
The poorest.
Are they living in better conditions now? 1.8 billion cedis a day just to bring one person back home. And they say we should keep quiet because we are more civilized. I am not going to do that argument. At least, if we were going to resort to even our traditional ways of life, these people must be cursed by our gods for doing these things to us. Yes. If we were good, because you cannot promise the gods that, look, punish these people. I have videos of people who were cursing Akufo-Addo because he was so insensitive. What has changed now? What has changed now? And the same gods must curse them for going through, taking Ghanaians through pains. Why should one person cost us 1.8 billion cedis a day just because he or she wants to come back home? Is he more Ghanaian than the vulnerable NDC people who are refusing to think? Because they cannot think, it means you should abuse them. My brother, so I will end here. So finally, what I'm saying is that,
In 1 minute, then, please.
Yeah.
We were told at some point that the vice president had returned to the country. Now, from the look of things, it was a lie. Do you think that, because Felix Fosu even said it, that she was back and she was, how do you say it, in the house and was getting better, then now we are hearing that she's back from England. So
she's back to England.
No, she's back. She's coming back
from
England. So is it even ethical that we as a people will be kept in the dark and even be lied to about the whereabouts of our vice president? Aside the fact that they have spent our money.
Apart from, do you believe Ofosukachi?
Never.
No, the face of the presidency has been captured as a lying president. Because if you have a pathological liar who is fronting as the spokesperson for a government, then nobody takes you seriously. Who believes Ofosukachi? This is a person who is constantly and always lying. Look, when he was caught in somebody's wife's room, what did the man say? He said, I had to capture you on video because I know you are a liar. That is the man we are talking of. So if Ofosukachi tells you that the vice president reported and he's now coming, me, I'm not surprised, because that is his job. He's a liar. But you see, what I'm saying is that we have a code of conduct. I did not sit down to bring it. After all, you yourself, if you have respect for people and you have put down a code of conduct that must guide your own actions in public life, and you come and you brutally rape that same code of conduct, it means that you don't respect the people that you are presiding over. And Ghanaians,
Like I'm saying, we should be very, 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 very wise. We should be very wise of the NDC that champions all the good things for the vulnerable people. And then when they come to power, they